Hello, everyone. It is TexAgs Rewind here on a Wednesday. And yes, Anna Rosa Peterson's with us for a very intimate conversation about hip lingo. She put me on blast. Is that a term I can use?
No, you can definitely use blast. I didn't put you on blast. I just was educating you on a couple new words that you may not have been familiar with.
So our YouTube audience probably is younger, I'm assuming. Not everybody, but I'm assuming. So some of the words I've heard people use that I don't feel comfortable using. That's Gucci. What does that Gucci mean?
Oh my gosh. Gucci, I feel like could mean a lot of different things. It could mean cool.
Okay.
Swag, if you know what that means, or expensive, maybe. I mean, since it is an expensive Gucci brand, so that's what I would interpret Gucci to mean.
There's another one that I found it very interesting. Let's see if I can find it. By the way, what does flex mean? It means to like show off, right?
Yeah, that means like if you're gonna flex your money, you're gonna flaunt it. Brag on yourself.
We're going to talk Aggie football, by the way, but I just wanted to get a couple because she was having so much fun at our expense, Olin and myself. Finsta. You know what Finsta means?
I do. I came up with that, not came up with that word. I used to have a Finsta in high school. Hopefully no one ever finds it. It's a fake Instagram.
It's so you can get away with things?
People like to, not get away with things. Mine was very wholesome, of course, but you just post whatever you want to, usually embarrassing pictures of yourself or share with your close friends.
And big
stories.
yikes.
Yeah, big yikes. I've never heard of that.
Okay, so I had to Google this stuff, all right? There's a place called Family Education, which makes me the weirdo here.
I also don't have like TikTok anymore, so I'm probably missing out on a couple of the keywords that are trending right now.
Big yikes is like an accelerated version of yikes. Okay. So big yikes, big game. Good game. I guess same thing. All right, so now back to what we had on the show. We talked a little bit about lingo, as you can see with OB. You'll hear that. Chris Landry joined us from Landry Football, talking about Isaiah Spiller at the next level. We know he's an NFL back here, but how close is he? He breaks that down. Bronny on Evan Stewart, of course, recruiting country here on the program, and Jesus Ortiz, on the ups and downs that the Aggies have gone through. All that and more here on TexAgs Rewind. And want to get this message out. Michaela there at the mothership sent us this message, and I'd like to get Anna Rosa's thoughts. Today, they say it's bussin'. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Okay.
All right. Bussin'.
I was actually just about to get into some other words. I looked up a list that I have in front of me. Bussin' is a word that is used.
It's very good.
Friends, there's a song that's called Bussin', I think.
Like it means to go to a different school, right?
No, that is one definition of it. But if you were to say like, wow, like this meal is bussin', like that means it's a really good meal.
So here's my question. Who comes up with the word and how does it catch fire? Because there's never a time in my life where I've, been like, you know what? Like let's come up with a word that means like a good take, OB. What is something we could do for a radio?
That's just the power of the internet.
And
like the trends that will set off and people continue to use them. They think a video is funny. I mean, that's all I have for you.
That Scotch tape, man. That take is so good it just sticks.
Sticks.
I don't know
Scotch
if that
tape,
will
baby.
stick.
No?
But I have some other words for you. Cap. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
You
like
put it on your head.
False. No.
No, you put it on your head. Cap.
No.
I hear that from my son.
Or Captain America. That's what they call him. They say cap.
Y'all say just showing. Cap means like false. Like if I said no cap, that means I'm not lying.
Honestly, if somebody said that to
from my son all the time.
If somebody said that to me, if my son talks to me like that, we're gonna say, huh? ¿Qué? ¿Cómo? All right, what else?
Sus.
Sus.
Have you heard of that? Like
that's suspicious or suspect?
Right. Short for suspicious. People say that a lot. Like, oh, that's kind of weird.
That's sus.
Yeah. Like the creepy older man that has been leaving flowers at my door every morning. That I would say he's sus.
He's sus.
Exactly. And then another one for you. I don't know if this is as common, but based. Have you heard of that one?
Is what with the turkey, right? Yeah, the turkey. Yeah.
No. I have the exact definition in front of me, and it just says the opposite of cringe. So it means it's cool. If like you put some cool content on there, I could be like, oh, that's like pretty based.
Dude, the TexAgs Rewind is based.
Exactly.
Dude, exactly. I love the word yo. I use yo a lot. Is yo still acceptable?
I'm not going to sit here and tell you what is cool and not cool to
what
say.
Up, yo? People got to say that, yo.
But I also say bruh, so I'm probably not.
I say bee's knees.
Definition. Bee's knees.
Bee's knees. Yeah, I've been around a while.
My goodness.
And according to the list in front of me, at Richard, lit is still considered cool to say, so I apologize. And so is yeet and simp.
Hold on.
If you heard those
Yeet?
words. Yeet, like, I don't use that word,
But explain how it would be used in a sentence, please.
I don't think you would use it in a sentence. You just say it like, yeet. I yeeted the ball across the room to Richard.
I'm smart enough to not tell it anymore.
I promise you, I thought I was like a hip 45-year-old. Like I was like, I'm going to move to College Station. People were like, yeah. It's like, no, I am so old. Thank you for making me feel even older.
I
think he has a chance to be a really good player at the next level. I think he's got good vision. I like his run instincts. I think he runs under his pads, good balance, good after contact yardage. I think he's going to be a really good player that can help you in the pass game as well. I think playing in this style and he has a little bit more advanced awareness in terms of where blitz pickup comes from. So I think that's going to aid him. I think he'll be a good back. Backs in the league are very fungible in the NFL level, unless you're just the Derrick Henry where you build your offense around it type of guy. We've seen a few of those, but not, good backs. They're a little bit more plentiful. This guy's a good back that runs very hard, and I think could be a really good player at the next level.
Really good players work well together, I think. You're going to turn down a high 4-star and a 5-star receiver because they may not – I don't get what that means. Really good players play well together.
Yeah.
That's what's happened at Bama for the last decade, right? But in terms of A&M's chances, I don't know. I put it at a 5. They got work to do, no question. This Evan has kind of gone in and out with A&M throughout his recruitment up to this point. So getting him on campus for an official visit where he'll spend 48 hours in College Station and A&M gets to show him the full package, we'll see on the other side of the weekend. But I put it at a 5. It's not a kid where you're – like when I talked about that class calculator, Evan Stewart wasn't a kid that we were putting into that to try to kind of formulate what A&M's class could be.
Let's do one last one. Your thoughts on how things have played out this season, considering the real high, the low for those 2 weeks, and now it looks like, the super high against Alabama, working our way back.
I tell you what, the game against Mizzou was the indication of where the Aggies are turning as far as I'm concerned. I was talking to my father-in-law. They had their big game against Penn State the same weekend that the Aggies beat Alabama, and you saw what happened to them against Purdue. They got upset against Purdue. They go from number 2 in the country to 11 or whatever. So that was huge. And the A&M team against Mizzou is pretty much what we expected, right? A team at the start of the season that could handle Mizzou easily. And the Alabama, what a night. We sat together in the press box for that game. And I think, Zach Calzada has shown so much emblematic of his family story and emblematic of the Aggie spirit, right? A lot of people gave up on him. Let's be honest. We listen to the, sports radio, we see the threads, and a lot of people gave up on, but the kid never stopped fighting. And now he has a defining moment that he'll have for the rest of his life that every Aggie who was alive for it will remember. And then I think the football team is as good as we expected, except, none of us could have predicted the Mississippi State and the Arkansas losses. But if you consider all the injuries, the young offensive line, I was there for the Arkansas game, and I sat, in the family section with my youngest daughter, and I was in utter shock at just how easily Arkansas made it look. But then if you consider all the injuries and you consider just Ruben Feathery and what Foster are doing now compared to what they did against Arkansas, like, you have to feel good about the future of this team.
I like to do this at the end of the show because people are usually prepared. Sometimes they're not. Ana Rosa, what are people supposed to do?
You're supposed to like, comment, subscribe.
Tell them, not me.
Okay. Share the video with your mom, with your grandma. Follow. If your grandma has a YouTube page, have her comment on it. Yeah. And some grandmas do. Yeah, this is true. Subscribe to the alerts. My grandma's very hip. She likes Does YouTube. She watch the show? Whenever she sees me on it. Okay. She'll watch the show. All right. That does it for TexAgs Rewind. Thanks, guys.